Hello and welcome to episode 564 of the Awesome Comics Podcast, the place where the small press makes one hell of a big noise. My name is Vince Hunt, and joining me as always is the artist and creator of Vanguard, the epic webcomic that's going to be returning in 2026 to melt all of our faces, Dan Butcher.
Hello.
And Tony Esmond. Do you like custard creams?
I'm a fan.
What do you think about custard creams covered in chocolate?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No.
It's an M&S thing. No, I think other brands are available. But M&S have done a large custard cream covered in chocolate. Now, custard cream, for me, I think is the best biscuit. Just going to say it.
That's fair.
It's certainly up there for me.
Them and Bourbon creams, yeah, they're the two.
To put them on the same plate.
I think they should be separated from everything else because everything else is below.
They used to do custard creams with like orange filling.
Get in the bin. Get in the bin.
They stopped doing them.
It was a bit too chemically tasty for me. Those.
Yeah.
Says the fucking custard creams are still filled with fucking. I'm sure.
Yeah. But now we're putting chocolate on everything, aren't we? Welcome to the show, everyone.
What a lovely pause that was. Dan showed me his balls during that pause,
and they were indeed covered in chocolate. Well,
I did the chef from South Park. Look at these chocolate-coloured balls. Isn't that his song?
Chocolate salty balls.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Wow. Welcome to the show, everyone. We're not here to just gabble on about a load of weird nonsense. Biscuits, although biscuit chat is always welcome. I think we haven't had it for quite some time on the show. But we're here to talk about comics each and every week. And we've got some great comics to talk about in the recommends later in the show.
I genuinely have some comics of my year so far.
That's amazing.
Really?
Yeah. You wait.
When one of us says that, it's always like
I've
fucking
got some
10 jokes.
big thoughts coming.
Yeah. Wow, big thoughts.
Big thoughts.
Wow. We love having big thoughts on this show.
When we can manage it.
Yeah. So, sometimes we get a bit tired and we have to go to sleep. Yeah. But one thing that we're going to have plenty of big talk this week because we get to talk about formats, we get to talk about webtoons, we talk about loads of just awesome stuff. So actually, rather than me ramble on, should we listen to it now?
Let's do it.
Okay, this week we're joined by a new face/voice to the pod. Well, it's a face for us, voice to you.
Slash.
Yeah, well, everyone needs a slash sometimes, don't they?
Yeah.
Especially if they've been drinking plenty of water. Anyway, we're joined this week. Don't worry, the guest already knows the kind of humour that we have on this show because they've been, they've been witness to a lot of it. And they are the brain.
Also being published by a certain member of the crew here.
Yes,
which we're going to
soon to be,
as well as they're the brain behind Slam Comics and the graphic novel Republik. So welcome to the show, Jay Horner. Welcome.
Hello, lads
on tour.
On, mate.
We've been doing some lad chat just before we started, didn't we?
Yeah.
Jay's also an active member of the Slack. So that's very cool of you. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
You
better than Facebook.
Yeah, it does seem to be that way now, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely.
Well,
it's not
unless
hard,
unless you're searching the marketplace for used wedding dresses as a way of finding women. That's the only thing you won't get on the Slack.
Use it for search for used something, but
oh dear. But of course, we're here to talk about comics, and judging by what the last 10 minutes, buckle up, everyone, because we don't know where this will go. But obviously, to talk about Jay, we're going to talk about your work as well and your comics journey.
Thank you.
But the first thing we're going to delve into is something we've been sort of skirting around, and Tony brought it up recently, didn't you, Tony?
I think so. Was it one of the things we talked about last week? I honestly can't remember. I don't remember.
We talked about so many things, but as the listeners know, I can't remember what we've spoken about the moment I stopped recording.
Yeah. Sometimes in my brain, I wake up sweating, working out whether it was what we said out of the recording and what we said into the recording. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. Did I say that on the show? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a bit of that sometimes.
So it's like that was libelous. It's like, did I send that in the recording or not?
And I know. Yeah.
Is it libel or slander?
I can't remember.
Right in, listeners. Let me know.
Write some slander.
It's like you've come out of character. Like, God.
Jesus. But Jay, how long have you been sort of making comics for now?
Since I was 13, so I'm now 37. I have to remember my own age. I'm just going to start telling people I'm somewhere in my 30s.
Yeah.
Mid-30s.
Yeah, mid-30s. We'll go with that until I'm in my mid-50s. So when I was 13, I was massively into Spider-Man. I was massively into X-Men and everything like that. And you guys want to be into this because I don't want to give anything away or disparage you, but you're about 10 years older than me.
At
roughly.
least. I think I'm about 20 years older than you, my friend. But
yeah, but you're so wise.
Oh, I know.
He's funny. He's funny, this guy.
You don't get wiser getting older. It gets worse.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to have Cartoon Network. And watched a little show on there called Dragon Ball Z, which was huge at the time. It was a phenomenon. And me and a friend were huge into it, kept talking about it, and he knew I drew. So he asked me if I would draw comics of the series with my own stories. And he paid me the whopping total of £1 an issue, which I was absolutely fine with because that got me 2 packs of Fruity Polos from the vending machine at school.
Oh my word,
man! That's
you're rolling deep. Fruity.
They used to stick together too much for me, but yeah, I'm getting you.
Yeah. So, how much would an issue be? Like a single side, or not 20 odd pages?
It'd be about 15 pages, and it would just be
A5, A4. What are we talking?
A4. So it was just some sheets of A3 that I'd fold over. And I had no idea how to draw comics. You didn't have YouTube back in 2003.
Right.
So I think that was 2 years later that would come. So I didn't know how to do any of this. I had to rely on any DVD documentaries and just copying and pasting what I saw on the comic. So I'd kind of wing it, and I didn't know about inking, so it would all be penciled. Pardon me. That's all that Dr. Pepper I'm having. I need to stop packing in.
I had Dr. Pepper and cream soda the other day.
I've seen they just released that.
Yeah, very nice.
So
have you got any of these left? These comics?
So I've got scans of them, which I posted on my Substack not so long ago.
Nice. Jay, I used to do exactly the same thing, but with like A4. My mates used to you did a comic, I would do a page, then he would do a page, and then we'd make up the whole thing.
I've got a terrible comic even I drew back then. Yeah.
The pencils just go because we didn't ink like yourself. It just
I didn't know what they used. I was looking at a biro is this the tool? Is this what I need? Obviously it wasn't, because you try and fill out big blocks of black and it just looked like scribble. So I started then, and then I just fell in love with doing it. So in college, sixth form, I'd base all of my work around comic art. I did a bit of coursework about Todd McFarlane, the Todd father. And because I wasn't paying much attention, I ended up doing putting Greg Capullo art in it instead.
Right.
They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know. Toffs.
It's weird how a lot of people get into comics, but they didn't take any formal kind of you don't learn comics, you know what I mean? You have to do it off your own back.
Yeah.
It's not like you go to a course to learn comics.
It's a real DIY experience, I think. The first bit of tuition I actually got in it was when I was in university, and I was at Teesside University, and in my third year I found out a childhood writer from the Sonic the Hedgehog comic actually worked as a lecturer at Teesside University. A fellow called Nigel Kitching.
Heard that name.
Yeah, he worked in 2000 AD as well. Really, really informative guy. So I wasn't even on his course because he did a computer science arts course. Sorry. So I'd sneak into his lectures. Eventually, he found out and was just just let him come in. And I tried to get his ear a few times, and every single time he was like, "You just need to work a bit harder at it. You just need." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. Give it to me straight, doctor."
That Sonic comic was massive. I mean, it totally passed me by.
I love that comic. Yeah.
It was massive.
I adored it. I was getting that every single fortnight, and it was because when I grew up in the 90s, I didn't have access to a comic book shop.
Yeah.
So it was all newsagent stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily, the comics you could get at newsagents back then were unbelievable. Now you go in and you just get a bit of shite in a plastic wallet. Yeah.
Or a bit of Panini somewhere if you're lucky. Yeah. Or 2000 AD if you're lucky. Really lucky. Yeah. He worked. I just looked him up. He worked for Trident as well. He did the Trident comic as well.
Yeah,
you're right.
Really good writer. Really good at dialogue. I'd definitely put him up there as a massive influence. And that was my first bit of formal training. But yeah, other than that, just DIY, failing and picking yourself up and trying and then failing a bit and then trying and.
I mean, that's what making comics is all about, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. It's not.
And I like the fact we all did it for ourselves to start with. Really.
Yeah.
Didn't we? That's how it's got to be.
Yeah.
So what was the next thing after all that? So was there a bit of a sort of time lag while you discovered Girls and Booze, or was that sort of thing? Or
it's like you're living in my brain, Tony. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So while I was at university, I was just going a bit wild. I'd tried to keep drawing but because it was part of my course and my course was graphic design and I hated it, but I did it anyway because I didn't feel like I could do anything with my comics.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what's the next best thing? It's graphic design. So I'd try and sneak as much as I could in there, but anytime I did, lecturers often sort of slapped it down. Like, nah, this isn't.
Right. Yeah.
You need to be wearing a black turtleneck. You need to be talking about Helvetica. Don't mention sans serifs ever. And definitely don't draw Judge Dredd. So naturally, I didn't listen to them. And for my final year, in my third year, I did a 2000 AD submission.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah. What character?
It was the Dredd story. I forget. Cycle of Violence is the name of the script. The last I checked, they still have it up on their Rebellion submission page.
Out. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
So I tried that, but because I wanted to pass my course, I did compromise a lot with it, and I wasn't very happy with it in the end. But that's the way it is, you compromise, and then you feel like a dickhead for doing it.
Were you a bit of a 2000 AD guy? Were you? Or are you?
I'm very casual, so there are certain stories I like. Like, for example, we'll go into one of my recommendations later, but that's just a collected edition. So I love characters like Halo Jones. I love Dredd,
right?
And I also love Nemesis.
Yeah,
brilliant.
But and Slane, can't forget Slane.
Yeah.
But I'm not an avid reader of the prog. I don't pick it up every week or anything like that because I'd probably be bankrupt on top of my regular haul anyway.
Yeah, that's understandable. Totally. Yeah. I'd class myself in the same boat.
Yeah.
A lot of people do now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can be casual readers of anything in comics, really, can't we?
Yes.
But not serious readers, are we? We're never serious.
Oh no, never serious about anything. But obviously, like I love that sort of grassroots story, which I think a lot of our listeners have exactly the same tale, isn't it? Making those, the moment that you can successfully staple your first comic together in a weird, before those days of having like proper staplers, you had to put it down, flip the stapler opener, and then push it down on something soft. All of that stuff.
Ruin the carpet
or whatever you put it on, and then the staples will buckle, and you'd be like, because you only had one copy of it because you literally drew it in pencil. Something like that. I remember those days, and everyone had their own. Because even though I was like an arty kid, I was drawing with things that, looking back now, I'd be like, I think that was just a writing pen, rather than an actual proper.
You can make a mark. Yeah.
It had ink. And I quite liked the way that the line, so I was just going.
You didn't care, did you, back then?
No.
It wasn't about the gear.
There's a lot to be said for the line that a biro gives you. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I like drawing in biro.
A big biro, something about the ink that comes out of that. You know.
There's a real sort of immediacy to the artwork.
Yeah,
like because you can really kind of get some anger in it, and
there was a certain I was reading a comic this week, and it got me thinking about sort of art process and like modern process with like digital art and stuff. I mean, are you still pen and ink, or do you do digital stuff as well, Joe?
I'm 100% digital now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I'll do my roughs in like pencil or whatever.
Yeah.
But like about 90% of what I do is on the iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started with Wacom Intuos, plugged into my laptop, and it just kind of evolved from there when I realized how much quicker it was than the old process of drawing it in pencil, then inking over it, then realizing you've bugged up the proportions, but going in with it anyway, and scanning it, getting rid of the blue lines and stuff. It just became a more streamlined experience.
I guess for you guys, you can sort of, because you've got kids, haven't you? You know, you can sit on the couch while they're watching telly of an evening and have the iPad on your lap, can't you?
Yeah, it's how I work a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the time, and on my lunch breaks and at work. And even at night time when we're sat in bed and the wife's watching Buffy, I'll just be sat here with my tablet, just working away.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
same.
With those sort of techniques, though, I mean, I do notice, because I'm the same. I do a lot of digital stuff now, especially sketching. I still hate a lot of the things I do now, and digital just makes it easier to just undo, which probably means I never get anything done. But I notice when I'm reading a comic, the shortcuts that people make with digital. There was something that I noticed recently when I was reading this comic, which was, I was enjoying it for what it was, and there was a lot of like blood in it, or like people. It was like a sort of horror book, and textures on walls and stuff like that, blood splatter on walls, or people were covered in sort of blood and stuff. And I looked at it, and I immediately was like, I know exactly what that is. That's just a PNG or something of a blood spatter that someone's just multiplied over the. There's absolutely no craft that's gone into it. You're just overlaying a blood splatter, which immediately gave it less life.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about all those, some of the things I like about, the Jason Pearson artwork or the Ryan Otley artwork, or people like that, is they draw the blood. The blood is in pen and ink on the page, and so many of modern artists, I think, they lose that now because, I know it's quicker in digital to just get a texture and put it in the background, and sometimes that works. Sometimes texture can work, but I would say for like blood effects or some sort of effect like that, please don't do it, because it takes me out. I don't know about you guys, it takes me out of it when I see that.
One of the things that takes me out is the old blurred background underneath motion lines, which is just lazy, and you see that so much in some of the X books at the moment. And
some of these things are worthwhile tools that help add to it. So, for example, in a horror comic I'm working on at the moment that I'm hoping we get to later, I'm doing any blood splatters or anything like that in just with pen tools, but every now and then I'll go to the other tool section and put a bit of a splatter tool in here and there, and all it is it just mixes things up a little bit. But I understand why,
in a collagey way, I guess.
I understand why some webcomics, particularly today, the artists will rely quite heavily on that sort of thing, and you see it a lot in webtoon artwork because there's such this demand on them for immediacy. They've got to be rolling that content out every single week, so shortcuts are there. And so I understand it, but
like you say, like having like a pen, when you're having a pen tool that can do a texture and you've got some control over what's going to happen with it, that doesn't take me out of it. But when I can see that it's just a clip art, or it's just some stock that's just been overlaid on some artwork to give a texture.
I've used textures in my work, and like I moved away from it all because I was like, really don't like the look of this. It feels like a bit of a crutch. I think like the Vanguard issues around sort of like 17, 18, 19, I used to use it heavily, and then I was like, I don't really like it. Just looks muddy. Like everything's kind of got like
that's a good point actually, man.
A muddy texture. It doesn't look clean.
Especially when you move to doing digital artwork and stuff. I think you need to be careful. How much do you use the digital before it loses any organic structure to it whatsoever? Because there's so much stuff that just looks like it's completely digital, and therefore loses a lot of life, isn't it? A lot of these comics that we like, sometimes I'm surprised that they're digital. When people go, "Oh, I work totally digital," and I'm like, "What?" Like,
that's great, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Like when Cat Chapman turned around and said, "Oh yeah, this is I do digital on this." I was like, "How the fuck did you do that?
Fuck did he get that? Yeah, because it looks hand drawn.
Yeah. So
AI is so obvious.
Yeah.
For comic readers, it's obviously an AI comic because we find it jarring enough when a digital texture's evident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they can't hide it with that stuff.
Yeah.
As a bit of an aside, you see all that stuff with Dave Kennedy this week?
Yeah.
That guy with the aliens poster.
Yeah.
Fucking outrageous.
Dave Kennedy,
really
friend of the show, had an AI run-in recently.
There's no step back in for him, is there?
No. Follow him on Instagram. Because he does brilliant artwork.
Cherry Sheriff.
Cherry Sheriff on Instagram.
He did. There was an alien art book, and he did a piece with Ripley in the Power Loader, and it's a very specific angle. And then this guy who allegedly uses AI basically must have fed the pose in, added in a load of action figures and stuff, and got like a finished piece. And it's like you've just lifted his artwork and ran it through a Gen AI.
Yeah.
And the guy was trying to kind of like back himself up. So no, I didn't. It was like did this and did that. One comment he made, he said, "Oh, I find it quite flattering that you say I've made this with an AI." And I was like, that is a massive self-report, because no real artist would, if someone said to him, "I think your artwork's AI," would take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
That'd be like a massive fucking insult. You're like, what are you talking about? No, it ain't.
There's one artist, I mean, it sounds over the top set. I feel sorry for the artist Art Germ.
Yeah.
Because
Stanley Lau.
Because their art is pretty much what AI feeds off. And they are a brilliant artist.
Yeah.
And you can see their style in all this stuff, AI stuff.
He has to comment at times, doesn't he? That no, people say this is AI. It's like, no, I've been fucking doing this for years. It's not.
Yeah, you can go back to like 2003 with that guy on DeviantArt, and you can see him doing still producing that quality of work.
Yeah. And it's just maybe so. It's frustrating now, isn't it, that artists, all these talented artists, now have to back themselves up. They have to sort of, they shouldn't have to be like, actually, no, I made it myself.
Tell, like that guy, like they had a run-in with Dave. He's like producing like these pieces every other day. It's like an artist cannot work at that rate.
Yeah,
producing completely polished, finished pieces.
Lads, we'll just have to make our artwork really shit. That's all we're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
I do love this whole sort of AI thing. So I was reading this thing the other day that there's so many people in AI art who are just like addicted to putting fucking dragons and shit in there. Do you know what I mean? That the AI machines themselves are beginning to think that dragons and fucking, I don't know, whatever bullshit stuff, is part of the world. That somebody who was asking for, I don't know, a man standing on a mountain looking out of the, like getting a picture, and they just randomly put a Sasquatch in the background. Because the AI has incorporated so much of this bullshit into their fucking working system.
That's what I think
they think there should be a Sasquatch on the side of a mountain. It's like fucking madness.
Yeah. There should be the Sasquatch on the side of a mountain. I always
think there should be. I follow so many of those fucking accounts that are like, another Sasquatch spotted, and I'm thinking this is fucking absolute shit, but I do love reading about it. Yeah.
How do we get the keeps on giving?
How do we get onto cryptids? It was just
sorry.
Digital art. No.
I was trying to. You were talking about art, and I felt left out.
Oh, Tony, never be left out.
I wanted to be included.
You are never left out. But interesting now that with the comics you make, Jay, and this will tie into this week's topic as well. Do you think about what sort of format you're going to make them in? Because in this day and age, there's a million formats, isn't it? It's not just a straight, I'm going to make a comic book now, is it?
No.
You've tackled a few, man, as well, which is why you're a good guest for this, I think.
Yeah, so the first webcomic I ever released was On the Mend, which are released on Facebook, Instagram, and Webtoon. First of all, and I released it in sort of your standard format. You know, like
so when you say that, what do you mean? A page at a time or a
page at a time?
Image?
Yeah, just a page at a time would come out, and that was like a romantic comedy autobiography.
I read that today.
Oh
yeah, I read it today on it's on Global Comics as well. So yet again another format.
Yes, yeah. Which I moved everything to Global Comics eventually.
And it said, I think in your little intro it says, yeah, I got to the point where I thought I'll just give this up. So you stopped doing it. So how did it come? Because for those who don't know, it starts off with you being dumped by a long-term girlfriend. You drama it up by standing in the pouring rain, and I think you say something like it was actually just a bit of drizzle.
Yeah, I wanted to get across through that book that it's never as bad as you think it is. In your head, you're going through this horrible, dramatic thing, but actually, everyone goes through it at some point in their life. But so I released that page at a time on Webtoon. It did all right, but then when it came to my next book, I tried doing it that scrolling format that they're doing Webtoon.
Yes,
and it is so frustrating when you draw it like a normal page and then you start splicing it up. But I want it as a normal page because that's what I do. So you end up changing your formats over to be this long scrolling thing. It does take the joy out of it for me personally, doing it that way.
What book was that?
That was Republic.
Oh, it was Republic. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I eventually deleted
read like that. It doesn't read like you've done it as a scroller to me.
No, well, it wasn't meant that way.
Right.
So I'd started drawing it, and I was drawing it and putting it on Facebook and Instagram in that standard format. But I wanted to, and this is again compromise what we mentioned before. I want to appeal to that Webtoon audience, so I spliced it up into the scrolling format, and I hated it.
Okay.
So that's gone from Webtoon forever.
Right. Okay.
As am I, pretty much. So
yeah, we kind of grow out of Webtoons a little bit sometimes, don't we? I guess I kind of feel that about your work in a way.
It doesn't work on there. It doesn't. Right. There's a certain demographic that appreciates certain work, and which is completely fine because it's great to know where you want to go for what you like.
Yeah.
But I'm not that. And I don't think many of the people we talk to on the Slack are like that either.
Yeah.
I think we're a totally different breed when it comes to
how we like old comics. Fuckers. You're the youngest person on the Slack.
I'm injecting that young blood.
Yeah.
Nearly 40.
Should we throw this out then? So this occurred to me for a reason, because when we start different projects, we think about so what is it
that's the question, Tony.
What dictates format to you?
Yeah, because
you're approaching a new book.
Yeah, because when we started this show, it was very much I'm going to make a comic, and that seems pretty straightforward. You know exactly what you're going to make.
Yeah.
Now that question is not simple, is it?
And even a comic in itself has a different format. You've only got to look at. I was chatting to Falp about it yesterday because obviously Atomic Hercules, we've done 4 issues and an extra bit. So we've done 4 issues. The first 2 were normal American size comics. The third one was Commando format because Atomic Hercules goes Commando. Yeah. That was our main single joke in that. Yeah. And then the last one was black and white magazine size because Falp just fancied drawing that larger. Now,
yeah, why not?
We tasked ourselves with fitting the comic to those formats before we began, because obviously American comic size has a certain format to it. A Commando comic is 1 up, 1 down in an image, and the magazine format allowed us for much more detail on double pages and larger drawings, and we've got one big double page spread on it, which is this sort of creature that arrives and eats him. So that
definitely changed how you wrote it as well then.
Yeah, I think when I went into it, well, especially with Ghost Commando, it was. By the way, that is the fucking easiest thing ever to write. A Commando.
Did you research, depending on the format, you would read types of that comic before doing it.
And we had a discussion before it saying it's going to be one up, one down on each page, with a couple of double page spreads and one single issue stuff, single page image stuff. But yeah, it was very much like that, and it really dictated how I wrote it. So I think it's important when you're going into a comic, you decide before you start on it what the format's going to be. It's got to be, really, has it? Am I right saying that, or are you?
No,
more
I think
freestyle?
you're totally right, Tony.
Yeah,
I think you're really, you're spot on with that, because, so I've got them here anyway. So I released these in 2 different formats. So of course you got On the Mend right there. Of course the listeners can't see this.
Yeah, you got.
But then you've got Republic like that.
So Republic magazine size, or is that just
it's A4 magazine size.
Keep them held up. I'll take a screenshot for the Substack. There you go. Look at that! Look at that! Live on the show. See hey. Right, lovely. Got
it. But so on the Mend, the panels in it are quite small.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll only have that has 6 panels in it as a change, but you'll only have a maximum of 6 panels per page. Whereas in Republic, you can have up to 9, sometimes 10 panels.
Okay.
And if you're going to do that, you want that big page to read through.
Yeah.
There's no point trying to make a smaller size thing. Although I say that, the DC compact stuff's working tremendous at the moment. So there's got to be something in there.
Unless you're a bloke in his late 50s with dodgy eyesight. I've got to be honest with you. Okay.
Your format will dictate the storytelling, though, is right. Because obviously, if you're doing webtoons, a double page spread, that's
don't work.
Out of the question. Yeah,
that's out of the question. So
even just digital comics, sometimes that doesn't work, does it? Even if you're just reading them on, the old Comixology or even Global Comics, a double page spread doesn't always work.
No,
I have to say on Global Comics, it's not even often fucking formatted properly.
Yeah. When the time you get a double page spread and you look at the left hand side of the page and the right hand side of the page, is like, this isn't how the experience was supposed to go.
It's not how the storytelling works.
I think a lot of creators, especially independent and small press creators, when they have the PDF version of that comic, think about that reading experience, because if you've done a double page spread where a story starts on the left and continues on to the right, and then you have to go back to the bottom left and then read across again, that sort of thing, for God's sake, don't make it separate pages, because people will it breaks it up and you don't know where you are. You have to keep that solid, don't you?
Absolutely. And I think you have to reconsider even doing that sometimes if your comic's going to be digital, because people are reading it on smaller tablets.
Yeah.
Even just a general iPad is smaller than a comic page.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful with that, definitely.
And with some of these sort of reading services as well, more attention may be paid to from the sort of people doing these digital services to the bigger publishers to get these things to work. But very much a lot of the small press and the indies, you put it on and they're just going to treat it like it's an individual page PDF. They're not going to spend.
What, do you remember that comic? Do you remember that Mike Carey comic? Was it The Unwritten? What was that? Do you remember that?
The Unwritten was a Mike Carey one. Yeah.
He did a choose your own adventure issue, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, you had to flip between pages. Don't work on Comixology, that, my friend, does it?
No. There's so many things that you got to love about when, but I like it when people take their swings.
Massively. You've got to know your format before you do them.
This only works as a comic. I mean, I know, when we're speaking about Radiant Black, and there was that UV issue. Well, I've got on my shelf back there, and I know a lot of our listeners sort of picked it up just because the
digital off the show for that.
Yeah,
right.
Because the digital experience, I understood the comic, and I thought, oh, this is cool. I like the sort of way they've coloured this and stuff like that. But then learning there's another depth to it in the actual print version, it makes you want to go and buy the actual and it works really well, doesn't it? It works really well, And I love that when comics play with the format. Even of just a standard 24-page issue. I mean, wasn't there a Batman one? Wasn't there a Batman one where you had to keep turning it?
Was it one
of the recent one?
There was a $6 Million Man that they did that on as well. One of the Dynamite issues, but
the recent Batman issue, because I collect that. It has a centerfold that pulls out really, really large.
Right.
And the recent one, I haven't read that yet.
Newest issue.
Piling up a bit. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I must read that. That's interesting. The other one that occurs to me is Mad Magazine. So Mad Magazine is designed as a magazine that you can roll up and put in your back of your back pocket and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, it has all those little drawings around the edge by artists and and there's the fold-in at the back. You know the fold-in?
Yeah, the fold-in.
And it makes a different image when you fold it in. That can't be replicated, surely.
No.
I
don't know how you do that now.
I ever think that like digital and webcomics should the big publishers should maybe start using that more as a gateway for people to try and get them to buy the print a bit more, because I feel like more people are going to webcomics for the convenience without getting the full experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and we've experienced this quite a lot, because when we started this show, we thought if you put a webcomic up, surely nobody's going to buy a printed version of it. Yeah. But seemingly they do.
People do, yeah.
I mean, because the nature of the webcomic, they create loving followers and fans.
Lore Olympus, whenever I'm in a bookshop, Lore Olympus has beautiful hardcovers. There's like 9 fucking editions of it, and there's a reason for that. Do you know what I
mean? It creates the fandom, doesn't it? I think this sort of regular posting online where you're not paying for it.
It's kind of like the digital stuff's very transient, right? It's kind of there today, gone tomorrow. Yeah. So like having a physical copy of it is
But I think
maybe it's an age thing. But
to your point, Jay, I think like some of these bigger companies, they should do that. But when they have tried it, it's a gimmick rather than like a genuine thing to do it. You know, like it's just a digital-only comic about, I don't know, a young superhero that eventually no one cares about after 6 months. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. There's no to hook in the new readers. I mean, there's a reason why those smaller print editions of those DC books selling gangbusters for people, because people have gotten used to that small format from the Tokyo Pops, and roll it up, put it in your back pocket. The smaller, fit in your bag, run these big graphic novels, because that's a younger that's a generation of readers who like that sort of thing, who have been brought up on that sort of thing. So yeah, they totally, you totally should. If you know what your book is and what your audience is, then fucking aim for that audience, because you can't aim for everyone, because you'll miss everyone.
I think there's an important aspect to format as well that relates to sales. And it used to be the case that to get on an American shelf, you should have a comic to an American comic shape. Yeah. And it was a big issue, for example, for 2000 AD and a lot of English comics. They just wouldn't fit on for those who've been to Midtown Comics in New York, I think you've been there, Vince, haven't you?
Yeah.
Those shelves are built for American comics.
Yeah.
And they're not built for 2000 AD. So 2000 AD is up high with heavy metal and stuff, and nobody pays any attention to it. And I think that has changed. That's come full circle now. So comics now need to be manga-sized, because that's where the kids are going to buy their comics. Yeah. And if you can do a manga-sized comic and stick it on the shelf next to them, I guarantee you'll sell more than you do if you did it in 2008.
But the issue you have, would you say that the issue you have with that then is the amount of pages? Because when you buy a manga book, what's that? How many? Dan,
100, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you want a lot more.
You got a few more.
Yeah, like I've got a typical. My son's when he reads Dan. That's like. It's like a wedge.
It's called what? Is it about
Dan
you?
Dan.
Dan to Dan. It's like
Dan to Dan.
I've had a
my son reads that too.
Some friends of mine are into it, and it's fucking incredibly drawn out.
Yeah. But that's like what? How many pages did you say that was, Dan? That's
about 120 or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 120. So you've got to be hitting it 80 plus, or just forget about it. You can't do a 20-foot. You can't do a regular monthly issue.
It wouldn't be worth giving a spine to, would it?
No. It would look like something that's supposed to be free.
We mentioned this before. It's the cost consideration of if you put in your own book out. I mean, the difference between a full color and black and white is a factor you're going to want to consider. Yeah. Because it's cheaper. Yeah. So I think all of us have probably made comics where we know I made a comic and you didn't think you're going to sell it and stuff. Yeah. But like if you're thinking, right, I'm going to make a comic and I go on to sell it, there's things you have to consider before you get rocking and rolling, right?
Can I bring up Hellbreaker? I know we may talk about that later in the show, but Hellbreaker is clearly, very wisely to me, created in the size of a Bond S&A format.
Yeah.
For that purpose.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. But man, the art, I'm fortunate enough to I've got the deluxe edition, and the art fucking sings.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Did you get a copy, Jay? Did you?
I got it digitally. I backed it. I was a bit skint at the time, but I really wanted to back it because I love Ian's artwork, and of course, is the man. So, so I just put like a $5 down on it, and I got the digital one. But I do wish that I'd.
Does that digital get you the 6-page extra story? By the way,
no.
George McDonald. No. Okay. Right. Interesting. Yep. Okay. I wasn't sure. Yeah.
But I mean,
great. Ian's artwork in that is spectacular.
And that's the thing. Like we're talking about, be careful of your formats, blah blah blah. If you've got a good comic, it'll work.
Yeah, man, quality fucking shines through.
Yeah, having a printed copy and digital. I mean, I read pretty much all my books digitally. We get wonderful books sent in through publishers and creators out there.
Mate, I'm going to talk about one after in the recommends, and it's I think up there with one of the best things I've read all year, and I read it digitally.
Yeah.
Well, I was inquiring about a book earlier in the week, and it was like $12 to send it from the States, and I was like, that's over like the cost of the fucking book. It's just not.
So get the digital.
Can't fucking do it, man. Yeah, it's not feasible.
Yeah.
I'd love to possess a physical copy, but I can't justify paying that much money.
Yeah.
Try print on demand. Seems like such a good thing.
Yeah.
Like when DUI 4 came out and you guys were going on about how it's print on demand, and I mean it's a lovely looking book as well. The printing quality is great, but I think that's the only way around some of these shipping costs.
Yeah.
But whether creators are willing to do it is a totally different matter.
I was always worried because it was Amazon, and then when I bought a couple and they came from like proper Ma and Pop local printers, and they were giving them work in the local printers that they wouldn't get otherwise. Let's face it. I was okay about it. I thought, okay, good.
Yeah, because the dreaded Amazon name is going to turn a lot of people off.
But honestly, the printers for that, not that one. I think it was the one previously that I got is literally 2 miles away from me.
That's great.
And it's printed in the back who printed it, and I thought that's great, man. I'm giving them work. Yeah. I would now go and see them and say, you're printing this book. Well, I've got something similar.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Yeah. I think I might actually give them a visit for our next thing from.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
I mean, printing's always when you're talking about formats and how you're going to make comics, printing is such a major factor to think about, isn't it? I know there's like Mixam and stuff. They have like the templates. There's certain printers that have templates for a US size comic, your A5s, your A4s. All of this. But it's still worth sort of looking into, seeing. I'm always caught by certain books, and there's going to be one in the recommends later that just the look of it, the feel of it, made me think, I'd love to do something like this.
Is that the one we're both going to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a real lovely DIY,
but old school
format.
Newsprint. So and just thinking, when you see these sort of formats that some of these wonderful indie creators put out, and you look at it and think, wow, I thought that was completely out of the realms of possibility. Because you hear stories of we can't print on this sort of paper. You can't print these.
We had that for years about newsprint.
Resistant
didn't we?
newsprint.
Yeah. And now I'm like, okay. And there's because print is it's hard. Loads of printers. In some ways, they're forced to branch out and do other things to get their to get print work. Let's be honest. A lot of these printers we need to get work coming in. So therefore they're branching out. I
didn't understand the print, newspaper stuff, and they said we don't print on there. It's too expensive. But the point of the newspaper stuff was it was cheap, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's just what's available
because I think that the print with a newsprint, I think it's probably about ink coverage. And please, listeners, sound out in the Slack and in the comments, etc.
If we got this wrong,
but it's obviously the paper and the way that ink sits on the paper. And in order to do a newsprint back in the day, they were, we've all seen the footage of newspapers being made, huge rollers, with the 4-color and stuff. For a short run print comic, that's just not feasible for those sort of printers.
I guess
that sort of thing. Whereas digital, that's why you'll see certain printers say okay, digital up to 500 copies or 1,000 copies. We can do that, and then if it's any more, they could probably do a different printing format for you, sort of thing.
I saw a copy of the Radio Times the other day. The fucking print quality, the print paper on that is you can almost see through it. It's ridiculous, and the type is so small now that trying to
you were
jam
reading the Radio Times. Bloody hell, Dan.
No, the mother-in-law brought it around.
Here we go. There's the excuse.
She was complaining about
it. It's like we're in a 1970s sitcom. The mother-in-law came round and brought the Radio Times around.
MIL.
Sat down and watched the two Ronnies.
Yeah.
It's also, I would sit down and watch the two Ronnies.
But saying that, that's smaller, isn't it now?
It's smaller.
That used to be a bigger magazine. Shrinkflation is obviously a real thing.
Having working in publishing, it's about the Royal Mail costs have gone through the fucking roof, and if you don't send through set sizes, it costs a lot more.
Yeah.
So
another thing
bigger,
to think about, folks.
A4.
Yeah, another thing to think about, folks.
Postage.
Yeah, postage is.
It's how easy. It's certain envelopes and certain postage is cheap as chips, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think it's why a lot of the small press lives in the A5 format.
Yeah,
you know,
I totally
understand.
understand.
Envelope.
Yeah.
One thing that occurred to me as well about format is in regards to the translation. So think about the format you're going to do if you're going to try and sell it overseas or get it translated into another language. And I think the artwork, you need to consider that as well, because I can't remember what I bought an English version and a Japanese version of a manga, and obviously the manga balloons are downwards.
Yeah.
And it conceals certain bits of artwork where the English language one is sideways. Across, yeah. I was really taken by that, but the fact that probably someone had to redraw the backgrounds in, you know, when you take the balloons off, because the artists, you know, mangaka, like they'll do whatever shortcut they can to avoid it, you know. So
it's the same way with the lettering process. If you're gonna re-letter it because of it's gonna go to front, if you've done it like in Photoshop, page per page, that's gonna be a fucking mission going through every single Photoshop file.
Yeah.
But if you've done it like in an Illustrator document, it's gonna be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So there's so many factors that go into it before. Yeah. If you start taking it like to the next level, like I think we
and certainly if you're collaborating as well, like artists out there, and you know, maybe not necessarily writers, but artists certainly. If you're doing work for someone else, ask what size the page is. You know, we talk about it all the time. Just make sure you get your details of, you know, because you're going to have to scale down artwork possibly, or the bleeds. You got to think about all of these things. Most of the time, it's just a simple, standard US comic size. We know where we are with that, but you still got to be aware of how you need to set these things up.
And go to the printer and look at it, because when we did Commando, we weren't certain they could do the print on it. I think Falp had to have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making him sound like a gangster. You make him sound like a gangster. Falp, you had to send the boys around.
I won't mention the comic, but got one recently that's got like the AR interface in it, so you can look at it, and it's got animated. I looked at the warning. It said, make sure you back up your device before you install this, because we're not comfortable with that. I ain't installing it then.
No.
Yeah,
doing it.
Hell.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I was just. It's fair enough. It's a warning to sort of say like you're taking your.
Yeah, but still,
I'm not doing that.
I get a load of texts at the moment telling me I've got thousands of pounds of missold PPI. Just click on this link, which I'll do now as we. I'm bankrupt now. I know, funny.
But you also drew money from a Nigerian printer, aren't you? So...
Exactly. Oh yeah. Have you seen that woman on Instagram? If you give her a few quid, she'll do a video of like, Vince, why you leave me at the bus station? Why'd you do that? She's like that. We're having such fun.
When you send it on to the other half to watch that, you get him shit.
Fucking hell.
Oh, she wanked me off at that bus stop. Why'd you leave so quickly? You know, it's like that. You know.
Jesus Christ.
Man,
but I mean, with your, obviously we'll get onto the collaboration bit that you're doing upcoming, Jay. But for your comics, having been through the webtoons sort of that route, and for
now
you,
global,
for you, what do you think is a standard format you're going to go for with comics?
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick to places like Global for releasing my work, because it's really easy, it's really intuitive when you're using the features on there. Like one of the features, for example, is it allows you to view it panel by panel, which eliminates one of the problems we were talking about earlier, where you've got this little screen and you're trying to read the artwork, but you don't want to read a scrolling format because your work doesn't lend itself to that. But it does eliminate double page spread, sadly.
Yeah, I often think the panel for panel was designed so people can read comics on the bus on their phone.
Yeah,
in a way.
It's almost like that. Because I used to do that with Comixology all the time.
We both gave it up, didn't we? We both tried it. Yeah.
But it's also handy for those. I call them Instagram comics, isn't it? You stick to that format. The square box. You know where you are. It's like easy to read that.
The thing is that so many people do read their comics on the go now.
Yeah.
How many people have like 3 jobs and are constantly traveling, or constantly going to the toilet to read comics and waste 45 minutes of work time.
You've just come back from holiday, and I'm not long back from holiday. And in the old days, I'd have taken 14 hardbacks, a load of singles to catch up on. And now I take a couple of books and I take my iPad.
Yeah.
And I've
what,
got
on the toilet?
Yeah, in a rucksack.
Right, okay. I was just thinking, on holiday, he's gone back from holiday. He's just have the shit of all
X-Ham
shit.
still looks better on 11-inch screen.
Depends how long. Cannon knows. I spoke to him for about 20 minutes. He was on the toilet this morning. But but when I go on holiday, it's so easy now. I think you're right. Most people are going to come around to it, aren't they? It's just it seemingly doesn't make as much money as we expected.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like a speculator boom, isn't it? How at one point you thought the key was just get loads of views and get loads of ads in there, but now it's not so much.
Yeah.
Like for example, I don't mean to brag, but I got an email from Global Comics saying that I've made money on Republic.
Oh, nice.
And I've had it on there for about 6 months, and I'm up to £8.50. So
that's not bad.
Yeah,
I made 90 pence off a previous fucking reading platform.
All right.
That's all I made. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't listen, tax man.
We
tax
talked.
man's not listening.
Yeah, we talked to the big fucking rollers on this show.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's not about the joy; it's about the money.
It's
You
about
could always go on there and keep clicking on the comic yourself, like a few people used to do. Naming no names.
Yeah.
I'm not that.
No, we're not.
I have too much to do during the day.
Exactly.
But so I'd be doing that, and then I'll be printing my own stuff still to sell at the various cons and markets that I do every now and then. I've only done one con so far, but I do alternative market every couple of months, so I might just sell a few here and there.
Where's that, dude?
That's at Darlington.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, you go, okay. You don't know what I'm on about,
fuck
Tony.
it. It's somewhere near Newcastle, I guess, is it? Is it that way somewhere?
All you Southerners just think everything up north.
Are you near to Bridlington?
No.
Oh. You should do that. It's free. It's not that. It's the same fucking, I don't know, general area.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
North of the Thames.
London's the only part of England. We all know that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But Bridlington's small press tables for free. If you can do it. Yeah, good lad. Yeah. Yeah, good lads.
Yeah.
So I'll keep printing them out and selling them. I don't know why I keep doing that. No one else can see.
That's fine.
You'll always be selling or always be closing.
Yeah.
How did you? I did have a question for you when I was reading your autobio comic this morning.
Why am I so sad?
Well, no. Well, it's not like some comics I've read where people are just sad constantly, but it does have a lot of humour in it, which I did appreciate. But you're now, because it's about breakups and music you write about breakups and places you used to live and unfortunate sexual encounters.
Still have them.
Yes, that's called marriage. But I just wondered how, if your current your wife, the love for the rest of your life has seen it, if they thought about it. Okay.
Yeah. So she read it. I met her 1 year and pretty much 1 year to the day of that initial breakup.
Right.
So I'd just got the printed copies delivered, and she asked to read through them. So she read through one, and she quite liked it. But I, for the longest time, felt really awkward about it because I'm like, but I've met this new person. I'm in love. I shouldn't really be talking about this anymore. And she was just like, dude, it's fine. It was a period in your life. You made something meaningful out of it.
She didn't expect you were like a virgin when you met,
Yeah.
It's not the Middle Ages, is it?
No.
Yeah. No, that's interesting, man. I just think it reads really well, and it has a sense of humour about it, and I appreciate it. That certainly that side of it, and it shows you different phases in your life because you go around and write really honest songs. I think at one point, doesn't a friend of yours say, "Are you sure you want this in the song?" Or something like that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. He was right, though, in the end, because it was an absolute shit song. God, it was terrible.
Did you ever sell them at gigs?
No, I didn't. Because by the time I'd got them printed, all of my bandmates had moved to the real Newcastle. So that was too far for...
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I know, bastards.
Do you know anyone in Geordie Shore?
By second hand, I do.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hell, I didn't expect that fucking answer.
Yeah. What's the name? The name?
I don't know the name, but just my mum cut their hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I love Tony's just basic generalisation of anywhere that isn't London.
Yeah,
Geordie Shore.
It's for comedy
if he's ever met the kid,
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Just want to clarify that he has been elsewhere, listeners.
Yes,
he has been elsewhere.
Yeah, I went to France once. Didn't like it.
Should we?
Was it a day trip with school?
Get fags.
Yeah. So, obviously, what are you reading at the moment, Jay?
So I'm just going to turn my little light on because it's getting dark now because it's grim up north.
It must be well dark up there by now.
And snowing. So I got this while I was on holiday in Cyprus.
American Vampire, book 1.
Yeah, the compact edition. And
they were selling that in Cyprus, were they? Was it Cyprus you went?
No, so just someone who was packing up their stuff didn't want to take that and the trade of Absolute Superman Volume 1 with them. So
mate,
left
like
it
on your feet there.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, oh, brilliant, I'll have that. And then I gave my friend Absolute Superman because I already have it in floppy edition.
Right.
So I've been reading this. I've devoured pretty much all of it over the past 2 days. I started reading it on the plane back. And it's great. It's really, really good. It's really addictive to read through. The artwork's tremendous. And Scott Snyder, man, he just...
Yeah. Remind me of the artist who's on it. Albuquerque, isn't it? Raphael Albuquerque.
Yeah. So Raphael Albuquerque. And Stephen King's credited on it as well.
He had something to do with the first issue, I think.
The idea or something. Was it?
Yeah, I think he sort of co-wrote some of it with because that was one of the big PR things they did when it first came out.
Right.
But that was Vertigo, wasn't it? That was one of their last. Yeah. That American Vampires. I remember when it was coming out, it was sort of big things. Like a lot of these Vertigo titles.
It was one of the last big hits.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Like that and Scalped, wasn't it? That and Scalped were the two, I think.
Love Scalped, man.
And but like over the years, maybe, and they always used to be in like bookshops, comic book shops. There was always Volume 1 of American Vampire. I saw that.
I got the first 2 hardbacks. I think is the way I got it. They're nice, really nice hardbacks.
That is a series that I do want to. Like it's one of those. Right, I need to get around to reading that at some point. So it's a nice quick read, then, is it?
Yeah, the compact edition lends itself really well to it because it's a lot of big panels.
Okay.
You know? So it's and you don't have a massive amount of dialogue in it, even though Scott Snyder's dialogue is excellent. So I'd recommend picking up the compact of that because it was. Yeah,
he probably is not making much money at the moment. Scott Snyder, is he? He's probably on.
Nah, he doesn't do much, does he? Lazy bastard.
Have you read Scalped, have you, Jake?
I haven't read Scalped. No,
I'd recommend it as the next thing.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. I need to get back on that. I read a couple of trades, but I want to read. I want to read it all the way through, enjoy it.
Yeah, there'll be some bigger trades or absolutes now. It's worth getting a nice hardback of that.
Was it on Global? Or was that sacrilegious to say that?
It might be, but you might have to pay for it. Might be one of those
that's
things.
half. They cycle through the free stuff, don't they? But there's always that to pay for stuff on there.
Yeah,
I've got the DC app. I'm not sure. I think it's on there. I'll have to check actually.
Whenever I want to read something, it's never free. And when
that's
the fucking
because you're into the cool shit, aren't you?
Yeah, you get just the coolest shit down. That's what it is.
I'm also reading something that I think was Vince mentioned a few weeks ago.
Oh God, I'm scared.
The Stranger.
Oh yeah.
By
that's your boy Danny B.
Yeah. He knows the Stranger.
Yeah.
Just sit a man for a while. So I have a bit of a link to this book because so one of the writers, James Patricks, he was a student when I did a lecture about comics at Deeside University in 2018, and we started following each other on Instagram and everything, and we've been in contact ever since. And when you guys mentioned him, I messaged him straight away, like, dude, your book's just been pimped.
Big time's calling.
Yeah.
You'll be on the ACP.
And that's why I doubled his
red
target
carpet now,
on the newest book. But this is fantastic, and I tabled with him at Hopetown Comic Con a couple of weeks ago, and I was asking him a bit more about it, and he said the artist, a lad called Baker, Devlin Baker. So he put out a call online for an artist, and this guy sent in all this artwork, and it was absolutely astounding. And then he found out that this kid was 17 years old.
Oh, it's like the Jim Shooter effect. Same thing happened with him, didn't it? Yeah.
But then he had to reconcile with the fact that he was speaking to a 17-year-old online.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh God, yeah, you don't think about that, do you? You think, fucking hell, this kid's a wonder kid. Should I be speaking to a strange child?
Gladiator movies.
Yeah.
Well, the writing, the artwork, everything about this is so professional. The colouring is especially mind-blowing.
Great book. I mean, fantastic concept, and the artwork is great. It's just, I can't wait to see the rest of it, the next part.
Yeah, that's the read of this. Then I haven't read this.
I've got volumes 2 and 3 due to be coming soon, because that's what I backed on Kickstarter for that. And then my third book I'm reading through is I've read it recently, is Cursed Earth. Judge Dredd.
Oh, love it, man!
Brilliant.
So that's got the previously excised bits about the Jolly Green Giant and all that sort of thing.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I couldn't find that anywhere. But this is the Titan one from the 80s. I think 1987.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Pat Mills, Michael McMahon, and Brian Bolland. And like when I first started rereading this, because I've had it for years. When I first started rereading it, I expected to be really taken by the Brian Bolland issues, especially. Yeah. But I found myself just falling in love with Mike McMahon's artwork in it. Yeah. It has so much character to it, and it's zany and it's wacky, and I love it. And it made me more excited to read more Mike McMahon stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I love his stuff, man. I couldn't put a piece of paper between who I love most, him or Bolland, but they're just very different, aren't they? One's very sort of slick and smooth, and the other one's very robot-y. You know, it's like draws great metal, and so I just love it. Yeah, I have to say, I remember when there's the famous story, isn't it, of Slane, when Ballard and Ellie handed over the reins of Slane to McMahon, and there was a bit of a sort of backlash about it, and then there was this sort of years later, there was people, oh, you're so stupid about this. And I still quite like them, but Ballard and Ellie best. I don't know. That's like sacrilege, but I just love Ballard and Ellie so much. But yeah, he's McMahon's a genius. Absolutely, there's no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, The Last American was kind of his only real thing in America, wasn't it? Which is beloved over here, I think, but not so much over there. Yeah,
it's just everything I've read with him in is brilliant. And I found out not that long ago that he was one of the artists that I used to read stories by in the Sonic comic.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
of course. No, I do remember that now.
Yeah, and it was it's really strange artwork in there, but it kind of fits. You can see bits of it in his old Dredd stuff.
Working artists, man.
Awesome.
That's what they
is.
Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah. Speaking about working artists and creators, what's it like working with Dan Butcher?
He's a fucking slave driver.
Oh God, he's a monster. I've heard he's the biggest monster in comics.
Just amendment. Can you change this? Can you do this?
He's like a Victorian lord, isn't he, with a top hat on?
Yeah.
Please stop drawing so many penises.
Yeah.
I'd never say
that's
that.
a lie.
Just stifling me, man. No, it's great. Basically, I said to him, I got this idea. He said, give us a basic back of a DVD rundown of it. I did in like 2 sentences. He was like, "Yeah, go for it."
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Are you in that issue as well, Vince?
Yes.
Oh, you give me.
Everyone on this call should be in the next Grim Scary Tales.
Nice. So that's good.
Yeah. So,
I'm hoping so, because I do actually want to read more of your stuff, Vince, because I have read the first issue of
Bringing it. I didn't pay him to say that.
I didn't, but I can, listening to a lot of these podcasts, I can hear your imposter syndrome a lot of the time.
I should have called the podcast that. I should have called the podcast that.
He's only developed it recently. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We're always pushing him to get him to do something.
It's really sad, because I've read those those first issues of Red Mask, and I think you're really good, and you shouldn't.
Oh, thank you.
You need. I think you shouldn't feel shit. I think
we need to. I think we need to credit Vince for some of the best covers in small press that he came up with the ideas for. The Hall Chronicles, the videotape was just fucking genius, and I think the Hidden Lives, the bloke with his face sort of blacked out and a wedding ring, fucking loved it. I didn't predict any of that, and then I said, oh, he's got a wedding ring as well, and it's all about fucking dodgy sexuality, And
purely sexuality that matters.
And you wrote the Grim Scary Tales story that I did, and you let it as well. And that turned out great.
Yeah.
Look.
The audience want more.
This isn't about me.
Yeah. It's another Vince intervention.
But it is one of those for the Grim Scary Tales. It's me dipping my toe in to then to dive in. So I want to get it. I want to get it right, and it's a fun.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, those sort of like anthology sort of pieces as well. They're a good. They're just a good sort of testing ground for like ideas and different. Because I know in the one that we worked together on, Dan, like you did your art in a different kind of way, and when I saw the page, I was like, "Whoa, he's done this differently." It was I didn't expect it. It's So I want to make sure. I want to make it creepy and Yeah. Scary's a weird one as well. I don't know if you find this.
Scary's difficult to do in comics.
To make it, I think you can creep someone out with an image on a comic book page. You can make them sort of uncomfortable. You certainly can. But to actually scare them, I personally have never been scared by a comic book. I've been weirded out by some pages, and we've talked about them over the years. Can I
quote one that I'm desperate to find, right? And it's the only one that's really ever scared me. It's from when I was a kid, and it's a Fumetti, and I don't know what it appeared in. I read it at a friend's house, and this is the story. So if anyone is listening can find me this comic, I will fucking reward them for their actions. But it's where there's a man, I think it's a man and a woman, brother and sister, husband and wife, not sure what they are, and they start growing moss and bark on their arms and all this sort of thing, and it's slowly covering their body, and which is easy to do for Metty. They were just colouring in the photographs. Do you know what I mean?
That's not like something from because there was a Creep Show, the Stephen King story in the first Creep Show movie.
No, this was before this. It was long before this. It was 70s.
But was that based on one of because those?
Well, this was a Fumetti, so this is the photo story.
Oh, I see. Right.
So it may have been based on an EC comic. Not that I can remember. I read most of EC recently. But and then she goes. Eventually she runs off. He's being taken over by all this moss and stuff and everything. And she goes out and she goes to ring the police or ring an ambulance. And she opens her mouth and all this stuff comes out of her mouth as well. And that's all I can remember about it. And it's one of those things that you search for your whole life for. It was that and a Kung Fu movie. And I found the Kung Fu movie last year.
I watched that. That's fucking ace.
Yeah, I've been searching for my whole life. And this is one comic. I just cannot find it anywhere I go. So if anyone can think about
now, fresh nightmares. You're not going to sleep tonight.
Yeah. And that's the only one that's comics really frightened me. Still remember it vividly from reading it around my mates.
Let's unleash the fucking winged monkeys. Let's find it.
Yeah. Is that what we're going to call our listeners now? But Jay, obviously, without spoiling anything, because the proof's in the pudding later in the year. What was your challenge to make something scary?
I added a supernatural twist to a very scary real life occurrence that happens, and that is basically the sexual abuse of young women. Not to bring a downer on the podcast, but I do have a lot of female friends, and what they tell me about their experiences does shock me. And I think it shocks me because I've always been described by women as like a golden retriever, which is probably why I had to go wild when I was at university and not beforehand.
Is it lipstick?
But that's what the story is about, and
with that element as well, though, you've got to be very, you've
got to be careful.
You've got to be careful.
Yeah. That's why there is no nudity in it. There's no. It's not verbally about that, or visually about that. But I wanted to communicate the feeling of it to the readers.
That's an interesting concept. Yeah.
I tell you what, it's fucking fascinating watching Dan's faces because he obviously knows and he's all like nodding like,
Yeah, I've seen it. Well,
I was thinking the juxtaposition between that and mine and Tony's comic is going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah,
because that's also doing the running order of these books. Because obviously, if you got a comic with Flavor A and another one with Flavor A and one with Flavor B, you want to kind of mix it up, right? You don't want all the ones that are tonally very similar to next to one another.
Yeah, and there's one that has a humorous underground edge to it, which is I mean, talk about sort of changing a style. You're talking about changing a style a bit for that one that we're doing. So that is also a consideration, isn't it, in counterpoint to what Jay's doing there. Yeah,
my one's going to be a lot more kind of sketchy and comical, like with more animated as opposed to real. If you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
cartoon.
And I'm going to try and attempt something so it doesn't look so cartoony. Because I've got a natural sort of animated style to mine.
Yeah.
Mate, let's Fumetti it. You and me, naked, in the bar.
We've got a fucking... we've got to do that
it's a pull-out spread. You heard what I said.
The readers are going to finish this anthology and be like, fucking hell, that was a roller coaster of emotion. I don't know what to feel.
Yeah. It's supplied with a Xanax tablet for every issue. Yeah. To calm you down afterwards. Yeah.
Or Cork to get you heightened.
Yeah. So coming later this year, Grim Scary Tales for the Halloween time. Got to get the subtitle yet. We don't have the subheading. So
okay.
You actually came up with Grim Scary Tales, Vince. That's your name. You suggested it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Fucking hell! I can't remember
WhatsApp chat. Was that a WhatsApp chat?
It's a WhatsApp chat. We were trying to come up with names, and you said Grim Scary Tales.
You did. I think.
We'll have that.
I'm not going to take. I can't remember saying it. But I know there was a lot of names when we were editing. Yeah. We were sort of saying, that one works, that one doesn't work. Collaboration, you got to love it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's been some stories this week which are not so great to
yeah.
That's true. It seems to work fine with us. How many comics we've done between us together? It's got to be 10 or so now.
And now, Jay, you're part of the band, so you are forever tainted. But as for your comics, though, and lovely listeners who are checking this out, where can people find your work, etc., and find the comics, etc.?
So if you want to read them digitally, they're on Global Comics. So you got On the Mend and Republik. Republik is up to volume 4.
Republik with a K at the end, by the way.
Yes, with a K at the end, because it's a lot of it is set in the former Republic of East Germany. Sorry. So that's
all under Slam Comics. You can find it on there. They're both under that, aren't they?
Yeah, under that imprint. So you can read them both there. I keep meaning to set up an online shop, but I keep failing at that. So
it's a big cartel free if you've got less.
That's one of the ones I keep failing at.
Yeah.
But if you do want one of the physical copies, I have got quite a lot spare. Feel free to just message me on Slam Comics on Instagram or Slam Comics on Facebook.
Or the Slack.
Slack, yeah. I only charge £5 for the actual issues, and then whatever the postage is.
That's good value, man, because they're magazine stores. People don't, repeat that from earlier. They're big old books.
Or you can come see me at the Misfit Market, which is held the first Sunday of every month at Hopetown Railway Museum in Darlington, where I will be selling the issues.
Nice.
And occasionally, I sell them in the Darl Night comic book shop in Darlington as well.
Oh, okay.
Nice one.
So they're not. There's none in at the moment, but I'll message the owner and get a few in there.
Restock.
Nice, nice. Well, you are welcome back anytime, my friend.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. This has been fascinating, and listeners, go check out Jay's comics now because they're brilliant. And
Thank you.
And I can't wait to read your story in Grim Scary Tales later in the year as well. So
fab.
Yeah,
I can't wait to release it. It's gonna be great.
Great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so much to look forward to.
Okay, thank you guys.
And welcome back. A few people heard what we talk about in the break.
Awful.
That was terrible, boy. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Almost like my joke about haircuts earlier. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
But thank you, Jay, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. That was a good chat.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, and please do check out his work in whatever format you can get it. See what I did there?
back.
Yeah. And the format conversation will keep going a little bit when we get into the recommendation section of the show. But before then, do we have any shout-outs this week, gents?
Yes, I have a couple. Tales from the City, pardon me, Volume 1, 44 pages and 8 short stories by our buddy Dave Cranna and some excellent and great artists who we'll find out about soon. All set in this fictional city of Glass City, or semi-fictionalised. The pre-launch page is up and running, and it's launching on the 1st of May. So get on that. We like Dave; he's a good guy, and he's a good writer.
The opening to Glass City book 1 is fucking great.
Switch and bait in that first issue. I keep saying it. He fucking pulls a blinder on that. Yeah, he really does. Bridlington is back, as you all have heard me just mention.
Yeah.
To Jay. Apparently, I don't know if you know this, but everywhere in the northeast is within about 5 miles of each other, so he'll probably go.
Wow.
Sunday the 27th of September. Small press tables are free, indeed free. Go to Skaro Media, Skaro, Skaro Media, like the planet or the city, wherever it was, at hotmail.com. You speak to Andy. It's a good lad, Andy. One of our favourite people in the world.
Yeah.
Go and he's trying to put the comics back in Comic-Con, as he always tells me, and he's doing the right thing.
Bridlington's back,
The other thing I'd like to mention is the growing rod, which is what Dan just told me about.
Yes.
Yeah. I mention that.
Yeah. Was it growing rod or was it grow rod? Or was it it was growing, wasn't it? It was growing.
Growing rod.
The rod always grows.
You push it up and it grows, and the things either side grow.
It grows. Yeah. Nice. Dan, have you got?
Anyway, the guys, issue 8. The guys are back just in time to face the combined might of their deadliest foes: the Prober, Mindo, the Shifter, and the Huntsman. From our friend Rich Carrington at Hardline Comics. This is obviously issue 8. I think you can get all the previous issues before. Richard Carrington, I believe, on art, who's an absolutely fantastic artist. If you like that old school superhero vibe, the guys is the
Rich Carrington's the writer, isn't he?
Rich Carrington's the writer. Brian Dawson is the artist.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes. DMR got another couple of days on this one. It smashed through its goal. But obviously a little more backing will help.
Have you seen the people that have got a copy of this on Instagram?
Oh, Paddy the Baddie's got one, hasn't he?
Yeah. How are these UFC people getting copies? How is this happening? Is Keiron a UFC fighter? Is that what he is?
Someone Keiron knows closely trains at the same gym that these guys do.
Wow.
So they're holding out comics.
Paddy the Baddie's got a sense of humour about him as well. I don't mind him.
Yeah, he seems like quite a laugh.
Can't knock out a Scouser. That's what he keeps saying, isn't it?
We've got The Gods and Monsters of Headgrave, a 120-page original graphic novel telling a complete story of aliens, madness, conspiracy, Nazis, and family in pre-World War II England by our friend Jordan Thomas. That's on the Notify Me at Launch stage. So you can go and show your interest when that launches. We've got Comics Assemble, a democratic celebration of comics by creators, August 15th, 2026, Gloucestershire Leisure Centre. Do go check out comicsassemble.net if you're interested in attending that, either via getting a table or pop along for yourself.
We'll be there. Art 92 are going to be there. Yeah, it's going to be a few people. It should be a laugh. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As
mentioned last week, Lawless Comic Con, 9th and 10th of May 2026, Doubletree Bar Hilton Hotel, Bristol, BS16NJ. Christ, that's just around the corner, right? That's nuts. Yeah. That's 3 weeks away. So Lawless rolls around again.
Sue's great, man. She's one of those people who puts the hard work in so much every year. And it's a really cracking festival. One of the best, I think.
Yeah.
If you like, I feel like the 2000 AD crowd are underserved, so this serves them.
Yeah.
Hopefully not this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and check out, if you haven't already, check out our previous episode, 563, where you hear more about it from Sue herself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and a shout out to all you lovely people who have been listening recently. If you're new listeners, welcome aboard. If
we have had a few on, haven't we? Yeah. I tell you what, we've had a lot of submissions recently of comics. Thanks to everyone who sent them through.
Yeah.
This will make sense to nobody. This is not an attack on anyone who listens, because these people clearly don't listen. But we get messages through that have two things in them that I can tell you got our website and our podcast through ChatGPT.
Yeah.
because there are two phrases that are repeated in about 5 emails we've had this week.
Really?
And as soon as I ask them who the three hosts of the podcast are, they either get extremely defensive or just never reply.
Wow.
Yeah. I say, "Oh, you listener?" Nothing back.
Yeah.
So stop. They won't listen to this, but just to let you know. But we have had a lot since Gary Groth was on. Actually, we've had a lot of submissions, so I'm working my way.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look forward to checking them out.
And if you a couple today.
Yeah. If you are listening,
got them ready to read.
Thank you very much. You're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And you obviously clearly like comics and nonsense. So hopefully, hopefully we can deliver plenty of that.
Yeah.
And if that's it for the shout out section of the show, we are absolutely rolling this time. I was saying in the break that was the shortest intro I think we've ever had.
Yeah,
I think
weird,
possibly. Yeah.
We did a bit of gassing
section.
Yeah, we did a bit of gassing
in the J bit. Yeah.
Gas. Do you think we gassed them? Yeah.
Gas them up. Gas up the readers.
Yeah.
Gas up the listeners.
Yeah. I'm just really
Drop gas.
I got distracted then. No one will ever know this, but I can just see a cat's tail right in front of Dan's face.
Flapping,
Yeah. There's something always going on with Dan.
No, it's like a cat highway. This fucking room. They're in and out all the time. I have to keep. You see me muted, then I open the door, and one of them comes in, one of them goes out.
Yeah. Well, I just took a screenshot of that, so you never know where that might pop up. Speaking of popping up, let's pop some lovely comics into people's wish lists and recommends, or just radars for the future. Tony, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'm going to go with quite a big one this week. I think we're going to double team on one in a minute, aren't we, V? I think.
Yeah.
First one I'm going to go now. Interesting, there's two things on this I want to make clear before we begin. Is first off, this came from the Gary Groth interview. Thank you to Jared who wrote in. And he listened to it, and he's a big Fantagraphics fan, so thank you for that. And secondly, this covers a subject that some people might find upsetting.
Yeah.
It's done in such a way that is massively interesting, and it has a dose of satire. You may not think it's a joke, a subject you can joke about. I personally think there's room for it. It's The Machine is Broken by Jared Sarnie. Field Mouse books available on pre-order from a website we'll talk about in a minute. This made me laugh on Jared's website. It says, The Machine is Broken is the debut graphic novel from noted debut graphic novelist Jared Sarnie.
I like that.
Now, halfway through, partway through this, I went, is he fucking, and then, is he serious about all this? And I went, oh, I get you. And we'll get into that in a second.
Right.
But, so the cover's pink and red and grey, and it's bright yellow lettering on it. I've sent you guys the cover.
Yeah, it looks lovely, actually. I thought the cover was real nice.
And it's a young lady. Yeah, that is a good eye-catching cover, definitely. And it has a young lady called Lux Leibowitz, and she is telling someone, okay, the audience, I'm going to kill myself. So this is a book about assisted dying, about travelling with your family to kill yourself, essentially. I'm going to give it a warning because for those outside of this country, they don't realise that. Well, it's always an extremely interesting one. It's extremely triggering. I hate that word, but it is something that can upset a lot of people. But in the UK,
it's a delicate subject. Definitely.
Yeah, in the UK, it's definitely in our eye line at the moment because of laws that are being made, laws that are not being made, attitudes towards it, and there's something of a yes/no audience to it, not necessarily from the normal political divide we see. It's, as I understand it, was a free vote in the House of Commons here in relation to the law, and that law is being reconsidered in a certain way. So it's very of the time. What do they call it?
Prescient.
Is
that the word?
Prescient. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I was going to say zeitgeist at the moment. I'm not sure if that's particularly appropriate. So Lux travels to Zurich with her mum and a furiously annoying sister to use a pod to kill herself. It's all the more contentious. Doesn't perhaps say this too much, but you get the impression that the reason she wants to kill herself is due to mental health disorders, whether as against to purely physical, which is another consideration. I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong. I'm not going to take sides in this, but I think there's a difference between someone who is physically paralyzed compared to mentally. Maybe I think let's say they are different things. I have to say, he doesn't explain everything in this. He allows the people to speak in this, and I very much enjoyed that. But almost immediately, as soon as they get there, her quest for death is scuppered by the fact that there's a valve that breaks in the machine. And there's this sort of workman dude, engineer, stroke bloke who works there. And he's explaining that she says, well, what we're going to do now? And he uses a magnifying glass and shows us a sign on the machine that says, death not guaranteed. So in the paperwork, it says, death not guaranteed. So they're there. And it's weird because they're there. She hasn't managed to kill herself. She's with her mother and her sister. Of course, she hasn't bought a ticket to fly home. Why would she?
Yeah.
It's not a return ticket.
Yeah.
You don't... It's incredible. And it takes a twist as well. There's a moment that makes you think, and it says, enter stage left, the most terminally ill man who ever did live. And this dude arrives, and he's covered in oxygen tanks and tubes and wires and a drip, and he's in a wheelchair. And when he hears the machine's broken down, he's a German dude. He refers to the American women as those fat Americans. And this sort of reactionary younger sister of Lux says to stop fat shaming my sister. And it's so... This sister does roll out a lot of the, let's call it online dialogue we hear from the younger generations.
Yeah.
And for a part of me, I did think, is Jared being serious about this? Because there's a lot of people who believe it. There's a lot of nonsense in it. There's a lot of people who believe all this nonsense. Well, part of it's not, but part of it is, and all this sort of thing. And at one point, she refers to the man in the wheelchair as generically disabled. And I thought, right, I get him. I get him. Yeah. He's taking a piss. Do you know what I mean? It's solid satire in all areas of this story. Very dark, but it's solid satire. And so it's hard to say, but it's littered with those like misgendering, ableism, political name calling things by this sister, and you're thinking there's a bigger picture here. There's a bigger picture about what's going on. Your sister just crawled into a machine to try and kill herself, and this man has just arrived in a wheelchair and clearly in agony, and you're telling him he's fat shaming. And there's this little, he throws his satire, this reality of satire at the page. And so Lux goes for a walk, and she's shoeless as she goes for a walk, and she's complaining how wet her feet are. And you think, oh, it's because she got made to take the shoes off before she got in the pod. And she doesn't care because she's adrift now. Her life is... Yeah. She doesn't know what she's doing. It's not completely dark. It is funny as well. And I'll talk about the cartooning style in a minute. And she wonders about Switzerland, and she compares it to, in her head now, to Disneyland, and it's a fake place. She's almost feeling like it's a faked place. Thinks about her past. Thinks a little bit about the people around her, physically around her. She wonders if a man's staring at her. And she becomes sort of almost hallucinatorily confused about the world. And then she meets a girl. And I'm not going to spoil any more of it, because I think you need to decide and discover yourself for everything that happens in this, and everything that does happen is told to you later on in this book. And I genuinely think it's something you need to decide about. It had me... I've been communicating with Jared all day, in all honesty, about this comic. I was hoping to try and get a snatched 10 minutes from him this morning that we could include in this episode, just almost as part of the review. I didn't manage it because of the time difference, sadly. But I genuinely think he'd make a great guest for us. But it did confuse me a bit, this book, in a sort of... I don't want to say this is a constructive criticism, because actually I came to the decision that it's meant to be that way as I was thinking about it through the day. I think the way that he portrays characters is utterly and ultimately left to us to decide how we feel about them. And isn't that the world? And her decision to do it, we're left to decide whether it was the right one or the wrong one. And we're left to decide as if the ending is the right one or the wrong one. And I won't spoil it, because it could go either way in this book, and I'm sure you know what I mean. It reminded me a little bit of Emil Ferris's work in My Favorite Thing Is Monsters, which I think were we talking on air or off air about drawing with a biro earlier? Off air, wasn't it?
On air.
On air.
On air, was it? See how confusing it gets. And there's a little bit of that, but there's also moments of that sort of almost quasi-religious David Mack imagery of a woman with, designs around them and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say, from even thinking about the both of them, there's significant changes that happen throughout it. There's some pages that are extremely Bigfoot cartoony with lots of little images, bang, 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 and there's sort of especially the sister takes up that space with a stupid backwards and forwards. Mother's very quiet actually throughout the book, but and the drawings provide a narrative contrast in relation to what happens as well. There's something very definitive that happens in a book. We're talking about death. You could suspect what might happen. It's not probably what you think it might be, but there's a death in it, and it's done in a big wider screen, more beautiful, almost like a watercolor and ink kind of impressionistic thing. But the satire works often. Satire, I don't know, for me anyway, satire often works best in the darkest places. I think you have to have a little bit of a dark sense of humour for satire to work, and a bit maybe cynical rather than dark. And there's stuff about death, stuff about life, there's stuff about the young and the old, there's stuff about a family, about the younger generation. There's regret, depression, vindication.
The
fate.
thing about satire and humour, anyone that sort of says there's no place for that when it's dealing with a serious subject, it's like, no, that's an important place.
It's very English or very British, pardon me, in a way, isn't it, as well?
It's so many different, because life is so many different things. It's dark, it's ups, it's downs, it's beautiful, it's horrible, it's many things.
Our emotions change from minute to minute, don't we?
Yeah. We there will be these horrific things that happen in life, with emergency services or something like that, and yet these people will joke. They're not joking about the situation, but
it's how ambulance drivers and the police and all these sort of people deal with the darkness in their lives. Absolutely.
And I think gallows humour is a bit of it's almost an ugly term for it in a way, because I think in stories, to say that usually when there's no humour in anything and you get like almost a nihilistic story, and I'm not talking about this subject per se, but you have these ones that are so nihilistic, it's devoid of it. That turns me off from it some way, because life isn't like that all the time for me.
Some bit hurts your heart, doesn't it, when it's so dark without a vindication of humour. And we can learn and read easier and watch easier stuff that has a slice of humour in it. And it's also very human, and the relationships in this are very real. And there's a moment. Well, there's one relationship that is not real. I'm not sure if it was a hallucination or not, but there's stuff in it. It's incredibly. There's a lot of detail, a lot of work gone into this, like an awful lot. And it's very cool of him to send it through to us. It's a very interesting book. I really do want to get a hard copy. I'd love to see the size of it. I think you can go.
It's a very striking cover. The yellow of that speech bubble on the.
Well, that's a really good idea. If that was just in white, that speech bubble, be 50% less effective, I think.
And like you think, oh, it catches your eye. You look at it, and then the wording that you see within the speech bubble, you're like, oh,
because the title of it isn't immediately evocative of the story. The machine is broken. I didn't. If you just said that and you didn't have that on the cover, you wouldn't know.
Yes. I mean, these days,
is it too much then? Do you think?
What the title?
I'm going to kill myself. Is that too much?
No,
not for me. I think it's
really arresting.
Yeah,
okay.
It's because the design of that cover looks like it's you're going in one direction, and when you read that, it intentionally. I mean, this is how I read it. Intentionally, sort of off-puts you. It knocks you off balance. Like, hold on, I thought this looks. Because the design of it as well, because of the design of the masthead, it has a certain style to it. But then you have something so serious and
kind of pointed to a couple of things on the cover: the beauty of the woman, the difference of the title.
Great. The speech bubble brings you down from the masthead to her mouth, her face.
Yeah,
it's really well designed. The whole flow of the cover.
I'm absolutely obsessed with asking this man some questions. I'll just because I'm really interested. I think we've asked a couple of people this in the past. Why did you choose women? The 3 women. And I know we've had that with somebody in a horror book. I can't remember who it was now, and they said because it adds to the jeopardy and the vulnerability, and I can see that, I can see it. It's really interesting. To me. If you go to Jared Sarnie, JaredSarnie, JaredSarnie.com, you can go and pre-order it. Instagram, he's Fantagraphics with a Z on the end, so he is really a Fantagraphics fan. Which is why he got hold of us through the Gary episode. But
I think that cover is also the cover's also fascinating. When we talk about covers many times and what they represent, that cover, because of like everything that we've talked about, and you only gave someone that cover and say, write us a synopsis of what this book is, there would be 10 completely different ideas of what this is. Yeah.
Even flipping through this book and looking at the quite cartoony stuff, I'm about to send it to you. Yeah, I feel the same as well. I really do.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a hard one to sort of gauge by flicking through. I saw the beauty of the art and I thought, right, I'm going to save this to review today. And the thing is that previously I've done that with books and they've turned out to be shite. So I've had to go and find other books. But this one, immediately I thought, no, this is a banger. I can easily do this one. Yeah.
It's weird. We always do that. I kind of save some books. I read them Sunday and I'll like recommend it. And I've read them and like, oh, I can't fucking recommend that. Like,
I've had many weeks.
You sort of project on it like, oh, this book's going to be great.
I've had many weeks recently and very much... I'm on a tip of like reading compendiums or like catching up on certain series, and of course that takes a certain amount of fucking time and effort, and even if you're really enjoying it, I talked about G.I. Joe last week, that was a good chunk of time. And if I do and I've done stuff like that with a couple of series and I can't recommend them because they weren't for me, and that's time where I could have been reading something else, you know what I mean? Even if I usually don't finish these big books because at one point I'm pulling the ripcord and being like, I can't do that, but they are.
I've got to say, my hands on that cord a lot more nowadays, especially on Global, because it's like there's so much stuff on here. I kind of the idea of sort of reading through something that's a bit substandard, it's not really working for me. I won't see it.
You haven't invested the $5 in it or something, I guess.
Exactly.
It's like watching all the way through a Blu-ray. Well, if you're just scanning through movies on Netflix, it's not the same, is it?
No.
But what would you like to recommend, Dan?
Hellbreaker. I got my deluxe version
Yes.
through this week.
It's
just
shiny and sexy.
Thing of beauty. It's got like embossed text for the deluxe version for Hellbreaker and Space War Presents and Fire in the Blood. It's an absolute fucking a fantastic book. The writing by Pat Mills. Let me just get the creative team. So we've got Pat Mills, Ian Ashcroft, George McDonald, which he's got script contributions, and we've got the beginning book.
I think George McDonald does a story at the end as well, doesn't he?
Yes, and he does a backup story. That's only available in the deluxe edition, which is why I got it. So we've got the I'll start off with Pat Mills. It reads like a classic Pat Mills comic from like back in the day right up till now with like Vampire Night Requiem. It's fucking great. Am I right in thinking that the Hellbreaker character out of the Space Walk characters, that's the one?
It's the one they decided to do the long form comic on.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Out of all the characters, yeah.
And
I think there's a number of factors in that. I think it was Ian and availability and
wanting to do more.
Yeah.
The artwork by Ian, I've spoken to him about this repeatedly, and we've had him on. It's fucking amazing. He's done such a great job in this book.
It's as soon as that's the sort of comic you could show to anyone in the world, and they'd go, "Fucking hell!"
Pick it up and just like look at the art.
It's like it reminds me of a couple of pages in Heavy Metal or something like that.
Yeah, there's like you turn one page, oh, it's really nice, and you turn over, oh man, he's done really well there. the whole just from the kind of the kind of painterly aspects to it just feels so rich and vivid. The whole book.
It's strong in it.
I can't give a shout enough as much about just the whole finishings of everything from the way the book's put together to the artwork, the letter, and everything. It's really top notch.
It's interesting because having been a bit behind the scenes on it, the artwork that Ian does for the 6-pager at the back is very different because that was a kind of a later edition, and it's done. It's almost like a slightly different style as well, but both are equally gorgeous.
Oh, well, I really like the one in the back as well. It, like I said,
inside that pub they're in, it's just incredible. The faces.
It's like an artist working in a different style, and it's sort of changed. Some panels change. Some are a bit more sketchier than others. There's a lot more uses, kind of like bold colouring choices. I can see what you mean with the two. It's not like the first one's more considered, but it just takes more time to keep that style consistent. Whereas in the second one, it's a lot more kind of playful and artistic and interpretive, and it really fits the story. It's a shame they're missing out on the second part because it's really well done.
That's not in the normal edition.
See, I had the digital version ages ago, and I'm like, I'm not reading it because I'm getting.
You did the same with Shah, didn't you? I know.
I'm getting the deluxe split turning up, so I'm going to wait for that. And
I think we're getting a second Shah soon, aren't we, as well? I think
that'd be great because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kind of Pat's anti-establishment themes coming through, and I've got to say, as a kind of a young lad, his expression of those kind of themes was the first time I'd encountered them
as well.
I really had not the idea of hero characters going up against the establishment was like, well, the establishment's the good guys, and how fucking naive is that? It's like it's
I know there's a question on the Kickstarter, just to sort of put everyone's minds at rest, is this just a reprint of the material in Space Warp? And it's not. That material is in there, whether it was the 6-10 pages, but it's colour now, and it's an extra fucking 10 times that in there.
Oh,
there's an interview with one of the villains in the police station. There's a load of stuff about the artwork in the back.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing Ian's process on the art. I mean, I like the fact he kind of like saying he hasn't really drawn the vehicles before. When he got the kind of the Art Deco style vehicles he's done, they're not completely. There's kind of like an energy and a life and a smoothness to them, not like they're items in the world. They're like characters of themselves. I wish to just carry on reading. I just wanted more of it almost immediately. And I know it's taken a few years to fucking come around, so I'm gonna have to wait a bit more for more. But it's a great book. It's fantastic.
It'll make a great French edition as well, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what size the normal one is, but this is like it feels like just over A4.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It's BD format size, I think.
Yeah, it's an absolute joy. I'd highly recommend you go and sort yourself out a copy when it's available in stores or through Pat and Lisa.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
My one was kind of quick one this week, but I was just talking about compendiums and things like that. Because I'm reading them digitally, I don't have to worry about them falling on my head and killing me. And I'm reading one that's 410 pages. This is going back in the time machine a little bit. The first issue of it came out in November the 7th, 2012. Remember those days? Those heady days?
Yeah, God, the heady days.
And this, going back to what we were talking about, this could have been a Vertigo book. Feels like a Vertigo book. It was a Dark Horse series that I was always kind of interested in. I think I read the first couple of issues, and then I couldn't get hold of it for some reason here or there. And I obviously had a few issues because it's 410 pages, so I could read the whole thing now. This is Colder. Do you remember this one?
Yeah, I don't think I read it.
This rings a bell.
This rings and when I saw it, and I read it on Global, and when I saw it, I was reminded of one of my favourite comic book covers of all time, and that we'll put in the on the Substack, and it was so striking to me that on the intro of this compendium, there's a bit from the writer Paul Tobin. Talking about when the artwork came through,
Oh, I do remember this cover. Yeah,
people were saying like some people couldn't look at it. It freaked them out. They were like, "What the hell's going on?" And it is freaky. The artist Juan Ferreira, has done a lot of work with Marvel, and I think he works with Marvel and DC now, doing like Green Arrow, and I think he's on Absolute Superman. He might be. He's done some stuff for that, I think, at the moment. His stuff in this feels very much in that sort of Gary Frank. What was that Gary Frank one that was it Straczynski, that Midnight Nation or something? Do you remember? I remember that.
Maxi series. Yeah, it's good.
That sort of a weird supernatural strangeness. What is colder about? Declan Thomas's body temperature is dropping. He never gets sick, never feels pain. An ex-inmate of an insane asylum that was destroyed in a fire, he has the strange ability to step inside a person's madness and sometimes cure it. He hopes to one day cure his own, but time is running out because when his temperature reaches 0, it's over. There's a weird thing, there's a sort of parallel dimension called the Hungry World, and there's a creature called Nimble Jack, which is feeding off people who have like these sort of, they're seen as like insane or crazy, have these sort of mental disorders, and there's this dark creature that's taking advantage of them. And this main character, Devlin, I've got through 3 issues. I haven't read the whole thing, but I just wanted to recommend it because I was like, I'm on board. I'm fully on board again. Do you know what I mean? I was like, this is great. We'll see what it's like by the end, because it feels like there's a world and there's something big being built up, but I'm not sure. It's immediately got those sort of hooks that, like when Lock and Key first started, a lot of people were, those sort of hooks. But by the end of Lock and Key, I enjoyed it for what it was, but it lost me in a lot of ways, Lock and Key. But I'm hoping this one does, because it's dealing with, there's these weird creatures. The artwork and designs of the page is just fucking beautiful. He's Argentinian, the artist, and like look up his work currently. But the stuff he was doing on this, I'm just having a joy reading these pages. There's such supernatural strangeness and you look at that cover, and that's why it feels Vertigo to me. I think because it was Dark Horse, I was like, did many people know about this? Did this go under a lot of radars because it was Dark Horse? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I worry about that. Yeah. I worry about that, and I love Dark Horse, but I worry that some of the
Dark Horse at the moment.
Yeah.
Bear in mind they got rid of the publisher, didn't they?
Yeah. But this one, Colder, is well worth your time. And the cover, just to explain it to people, we were talking about freaky images and stuff that scare people. It is the main character's face, who is blue. He has like a very cold look to him. And he's literally pushing his hands over his gums and through his face, and you can see his finger rubbing against his eyeball. You got to see.
I think that's how faces work. Just let's be fair.
Which immediately sets up there's something weird going on here.
Yeah.
And don't try it at home. Because there is a lot of blood going on that cover as well. But immediately, and what I liked about the collection as well, because I just thought, I remember this. I like this cover. There's a letter at the beginning, a forward with Paul Tobin, basically saying when that artwork, talking about that cover and how it was striking. I like people talking about the things that I've noticed. You know what I mean? It's not just me. And they have a page that's just the artwork without any of the other stuff about it, so you can just see the page. So I'm sure if there's a printed edition of this, you can just see the artwork. And I love that when they just strip away all the other bits just to see the original artwork.
You just get the artwork.
Yeah. But Colder, thoroughly enjoying it. It's great stuff. And watch this space. I'll probably mention it again when I finish it. But it's 410 pages, so give me a break. And that's my one. Who's up next?
I think it's me, or it's us. Adam Falp's Smoking Bedroom, issue 2. The titular Adam Falp. I'm known his buddy, so this is a recommendation as opposed to one more review type thing. But it's his first issue of this made my top 10 in 2024, and I genuinely think it's some of his best work. And the second issue, along with the first, recently got pushed out on a Kickstarter, which did very well.
Yeah.
This again is got colour cover, colour inside cover. It's a single person looking shifty. He's actually a footballer from inside the comic, the dude on the cover. And then if you turn the page, rather than what some might perceive as a boring list of contents, this is a series of faces and one penis, and with the titles like Lies, Sex, Cheats, Corruption. And in this comic, this reads like a collection of stories when you start it. The same as the first issue.
One of the things that caught me off at first is the way it cuts between different scenes. And for the first couple of stories, I thought, oh, should Adam have put like the headline for it, for each one? And then as it went on, I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, they intertwine. Yeah. So in this issue, we get the following. They're all exaggerated in their feature style. It's very sort of cartoony, undergroundy by Falp. There's some narrative driving footy fans who I really like, who get the last word in the pre-epilogue. What's it again? We're saying turn up for the books like that after something surprising happens.
Yeah, that's a catchphrase that whenever by the end I was laughing.
Yeah.
Turn up for the books.
There's an artist, clearly not based on Adam, because I know this isn't the case, who is unable to attract the opposite sex, and he assumes that they must all be lesbians because they keep turning him down. He also goes to get a job.
There's a little bit of Kenneth Williams with mad teeth about him.
Yes, there is. Yeah. He goes to try and get a job. He's one of these blokes who believes he's an artist. He's not very good either, and he believes that he deserves not to have a job and just be paid money for his art. Yeah. And then some dude takes a bit of pity on him, offers him a job, and he says, "Have we lost all respect for the arts?" Like this. Yeah. He's expected to work. There's a businessman who's kind of one of the main characters in it, who's frustrated with his wife because she never pays him any attention, and so he helps design an aphrodisiac pie. And he says, "Does he have a throbbing cock, Susan?" Because she's always accusing him of having an affair.
Was that the scene that when it opens up, I thought, oh my God, is there going to be a potential murder here? Because he sets it up where this guy's sat in a dark room. He goes, "Oh, there you are, Susan. I know you weren't with Barbara, and he's cast in shadow like some sort of bloke that's about to kill his wife."
And we think, is he paranoid? Is he not paranoid? And we get a bit of that. Yeah. Anyway, he makes this cake and it makes his pie, and this pie gets spread about. There's a stocky sort of bullish football manager who's got Deacon, who's one of his players, and it doesn't turn out well for Deacon, let's say that. And there's the last page, and then the epilogue are just pure Falp. We're not going to spoil it for you. Get them. There's a glorious, probably the funniest thing I've read in a while. There's a great back page colour story, which is actually a callback to issue 1, where it's future hipsters, and they look very similar. But in this, they're sort of future archaeologists, and they're digging, and they find a copy of this comic. And one of them finds a copy of this comic, and he looks in it, and there's boobs and stuff in it. So his supervisor goes, come over. He says, "Have you found something?" And he's holding it behind his back, going, "No, I haven't found anything." Like this, it's like that. So it's a little look into the me and Falpy often talk about. We want to be that hidden secret. We want to be the book that's discovered in a long box in 10 years' time. And someone goes, "Oh, fucking hell, what is this?" And there's a bit of that in it. And it's always an absolute pleasure to read this stuff. Nothing to do with me. I don't have anything to do with this one. It's pure Falpy, who's very busy at the moment, actually. We discussed a new project yesterday, but met for breakfast. But he's got a few things on.
I really like the printed feel of this book.
Yeah, you did. It's very newsprinty DIY,
old school
kind of feel to it.
Yeah. There's a little bit old school comic book, and also when I say cheap, I mean this in the nicest way. Like the cheap colouring books you used to get when you were a kid. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
You know that sort of, yeah.
I was going to say it's like if Private Eye had a glossy cover. It's that sort of paper as well.
Yeah. Only one thing I will say to Adam, he will never listen to this. It is when he posts them out, because I got it brilliantly. Put them in a plastic bag or something beforehand.
Oh, he does get a bit wet.
Because my postman is a right bastard, and he just fucking jammed it in the post box. I got like a little box outside the house.
Oh man!
And he jammed it in there, and it was lightly raining that day. So the comic was fine. The comic was fine in the end, but initially I thought, oh no, because of the nature of it, and it.
Okay. Yeah, that can be frustrating, can't it?
Yeah.
I expect this to dry out quite quickly, actually, from the style of paper in it.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, cool. I mean, do you remember that Gareth Hopkins comic I got that got soaking wet, and we decided it was a variant copy, me and
yeah.
Because it shifted all the colours and everything.
That's Gareth's work.
Brilliant. Yeah, that works.
Good. So Adam Falp's smoking bedroom go to tributepress.com or just look Adam up on anything and you'll find it, and you'll be able to buy copies soon, I'm sure, and buy some of his other stuff. His work is slowly and surely getting put on through whatever Diamond is now in the UK, and through Luna in America. Nice. So Dirty Basement and stuff like that will eventually be on there, so go and have a look for it. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, Tribute Press being distributed worldwide.
Yeah. So what a lovely bunch of recommendations. What a lovely amount of shout outs and everything else we got on this show. We spoil you, we really do.
Jam-packed show.
Yeah. But we need to have our Horlicks and cuddle up in the sleeping bag together now. So it's time to bid you adieu. But before
top and tails in the sleeping bag.
Yeah, like sardine. Like
How does
sardines.
that work?
Don't know. Sexy sardine. Yeah. If you top and tail in a sleeping bag, someone might suffocate
from the smell of my feet.
Yeah, it's a war crime.
First World War, people are dying with that.
Yeah.
Jesus
That's what happened in Charlie's War. They all died of Tony's feet.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, if there's anything that we spoke about on this episode, or if you want to get in touch and send us your comics, etc., or anything in general, please let us know. Like that, all the events that Jay talked about. If there's something happening near you, let us know about it, because we'll give it a shout on the show.
If you want to submit your comic and you're on the Twitter, the pinned tweet on the ACP account, there's a link there which you can submit your comic via Google Sheets.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I said Sheets.
And there's several different ways you can get in touch with us. You can email us awesomecomicspod@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at awesomecomicspod on Instagram, at the awesomepod on X or Twitter. Let's face it, that's what we'll call it. And thank you for listening to us, whether it was on the website awesomecomics.podbean.com. If you listened on Apple or Spotify, subscribe, put a nice review, get the word out to as many people as you can about this show, algorithms and stuff. You know, we want to be number one in your feed. That sounded horrible, and I don't know why I said it like that. But we're also on Amazon, Stitcher, Podnose, Podknife. What other networks are we on, Tony?
We're on the Pod Network. If somebody's crying at work, why not go up to them and say, "Are you crying because of your haircut?"
Have you ever? Everyone's had a bad haircut at some point, haven't they?
Yeah,
most of mine.
What are you talking about? Looks lovely.
They come in from Paris.
I think the moment they touch Tony's hair with scissors, it's going wrong straight away. Cause
often they turn to stone.
It's a crime against humanity.
Yeah,
you can't
have that. And also, they have to be rigorously checked by security, because if any of that hair goes on eBay, that's just...
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like the golden fleece, isn't it, really?
It's like I donate all my hair to the little babies of Africa for my hair.
I find a good barber is one who will actually reasonably do what you ask them to do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, this I'll just do whatever the fucking hell I want. I don't give a shit what you.
Yeah, they're setting fire to people's ears as well.
Yeah.
And
that
I quite like that.
There's so many. What? We need to
set fire to people's ear bit. You know when they
Oh, you just like setting fire to people's ears. See, what you said, Dan, is you quite like that. Not getting it done, but you like setting fire to people's ears.
Oh yeah. You know, it's sometimes like when you get older, like your eyebrows grow a bit more. And you have to like grow hairs. You got to trim them off.
Oh yeah.
I remember going round once and he said, "Oh, do you want your eyebrows trimmed?" I thought he was going to do like get the comb and they trim off all the scrub. He just got the razor off. Like it was like I barely had any eyebrows. It looked like I was fucking
wow.
Remand.
The Maurice, he says to me, "Do you want me to do something about that?" And he points at my eyebrows. That's what he says.
Yeah. At least cut out the middle bit, so you know what I mean. So it's not just one long eyebrow.
Unibrow. Classic.
Mate, wait till my ears. There's more hair coming up my ears than there is in my head.
Fucking preach, girlfriend. Right. And if you want more fantastic content like this, then join us next week. Same time, same bat time, same bat channel. But where can people find us in between then? Online, etc. Tony?
Neveronanything.com or Tony Ez, EZ on Substack.
Nice. Dan?
You can read Vanguard at vanguardcomic.com and you can find me on Twitter at vanguardcomic.
Nice. You can find me on social media at Jester Diablo. As I neglected to say it just then, you can also support us by buying gear on ACP gear.redbubble.com. And if you do Substack, then search for us on the Awesome Comics Podcast and Substack. We'll be there. And if you've been listening on Substack, thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Oh, thanks, guys. Really
thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we post links to the comics we've talked about, imagery that we've talked about in the show, and I try and hyperlink it to places where you can look at.
Yeah, we've just been talking about that cover, especially on my pick this week, and you'll be able to see what we're talking
about.
Worth
checking out.
Yeah. So until next week, wherever you are in the world, we hope you're enjoying the comics you read, enjoying the comics you're making, and we hope you're happy, healthy. And until next time, what do they do, guys?
Stay
awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Nadia.